On the 12th of May 1937, British wildlife photographer Eric Hosking became known to the public following a dramatic and unusual accident. While attempting to photograph a tawny owl, the bird attacked him and clawed out his left eye. The injury and his determination to continue his work afterward helped cement his legacy in nature photography. He would go on to take pictures of birds for many decades to come. He also wrote a book, An Eye for Photography, pretty interesting. And I believe this picture that I'm showing here is the actual picture of the owl that clawed out his eye. It's not entirely clear though, but I think this is it. Then the main event of today, the coronation of King George VI and Queen Elizabeth, took place at Westminster Abbey in London. The date, May 12, 1937, had originally been scheduled for Edward VIII, who abdicated in 1936 to Mary Wallis Simpson. The event marked a pivotal moment in restoring stability to the British monarchy after a turbulent period with the abdication crisis. Now, the BBC television service conducted its first ever outdoor broadcast, also partially indoor, to cover the coronation procession. And here are a number of images from that, from the coronation, both inside and outside Westminster Abbey. Let's have a look together.
All the world looks towards London, and half the world seems to be here, on this day of days. The day that will write a new page in history. The day that will be remembered by the children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren of all the waiting millions on this dull spring morning. At 9:15 comes the carriage procession of prime ministers, representatives of India, Burma, and the colonies. In the first is Mr. Stanley Baldwin, and in turn behind him come Mr. Mackenzie King of Canada, Mr. Lyons of Australia, Mr. Savage of New Zealand, General Herzog of South Africa, Sir Mohammed Khan of India, Dr. Moore of Burma, and Mr. Huggins of Southern Rhodesia. Then, with the clash of the salute and the mounted escort of the Royal Horse Guards, the procession of members of the royal family. In the first carriage, you can just see their Royal Highnesses Princess Elizabeth and Princess Margaret Rose with the Princess Royal. In the second, their Royal Highnesses the Duchess of Gloucester and the Duchess of Kent. The excitement of 2 millions is rising to fever heat. Their Majesties' procession to the Abbey is on its way. The great gilded state coach moves forward in the palace forecourt. And here it comes, bringing with it, symbolized in our royal family, all the history and tradition of Britain and the Empire. It's almost unbelievably grand, the sort of superb show that takes your breath away. Walking immediately behind the coach is the man who puts the brake on when it stops. Then the Field Marshal commanding the troops, the Royal Standard, and the Duke of Gloucester and the Duke of Kent, riding in their capacity as personal aides to the King. But the focal center of it all is the 2 figures inside the coach, the loyal son of a great king and his gracious lady, to whom today must be the climax of their lives. The sovereign receives the ring, a great sapphire slashed with a cross of rubies. The Lord of the Manor of Worksop presents the glove. His Majesty takes the scepter with the cross, the symbol of his earthly power, and the scepter with the dove, the symbol of divine guidance. Now every eye is riveted on the St. Edward's crown as the Archbishop of Canterbury lifts it from the altar and the Dean of Westminster bears it to where the King sits in the coronation chair. The Archbishop of Canterbury takes it, raises it with solemnity, lowers it on the royal brow. The King is crowned. The peers acclaim their sovereign. the great officers of state group in dazzling array around the sovereign. In their majestic sweeping robes, peers of the realm will pay homage one by one at the feet of King George VI, then rise one by one to touch His Majesty's crown and kiss his left cheek. And working with the world's most powerful camera lens, our cameraman gets these amazing close-ups of their majesties on the balcony. Later, inside the palace, their Majesties and the royal family pose specially for our camera in all the magnificence of their coronation robes. And for days to follow, the floodlit palace is the magnet that draws London's jubilating night crowds. And into the glare of the floodlamps steps our King and Queen, nightly to receive our homage. And we join with London, with the Empire, with the world, in saying, God save our King and Queen, long may they reign.
Now that was beautiful, wasn't it? Very nice. The full video is about 50 minutes long. You can find it here on YouTube. Just type in George VI Coronation. Will be one of the top results. That's quite interesting to see and listen to the full commentary and stuff. That being said, the average temperature in Berlin on this day was 17.3 degrees. Getting quite warm. And let's return to the front where we are attempting to try and take this supply center here, supply hub. Only 2 of our troops have arrived at the front line. The other one is still on his way from over here. And yeah, we are attacking into a Soviet tank. So that's going to be interesting. Right now the number is red, but 2 of our units are not even in the battle yet. Looks like the Panzer found the front line. The numbers on this one are a lot higher. It's probably because he just has a better template. Either way, let's see what we can do. So yeah, 1 enemy division deals 80% of damage through this division's armor. So that's this guy probably. And 1 enemy division cannot pierce our armor either. The Soviet tank does 100% damage against us. We do only 80 against him. Okay, well, let's see how this goes. We have a special project available. Now, that is interesting. That's been a while. Holy shit. So we can do Flammpanzer or Super Heavy Howitzer. I think Flammpanzer looks a lot more appealing. For all these other ones, we need other technologies to be unlocked first. So, for example, the V3 multi-charge large caliber something. For that, we need the Super Heavy Howitzer. For this one, we need the Super Heavy Tank Chassis, which I don't think is a special project. Stronghold Network. So, should we do one of these 2 now, or should we wait until we can do something else? I think Super Heavy Howitzer seems to be a prerequisite for some of these others, so that might be a good one to go for. Except it costs 2 breakthrough points, and we only have 1. So we would need to wait if we want to go for that. Or we can just go for Flammpanzer right now. I don't know if that's any good, though. Any advice people can give me about this? Be sure to let me know. Let's also check how many guns we have now. At this very moment. We have about 1,000, so maybe we should start lining up another infantry unit. 1 unit requires 910. I think that's fine. Let's add one. We'll just add it to this one. In just a couple of days, we'll have a bunch of these spawning over in Germany. That would be very good to see. It means we can fortify our borders a bit more. And we'll probably send some of them to Japan soon, although we already have 3 Mountaineers training for that. So, yeah. Anyway, enough banter for today. It's probably quite a long video already. So, see you tomorrow.